Today we will be looking into traits, then we'll look into something called as a value class, which is a related concept to trait, and then we'll look into universal trait, universal traits. To start with the definition. Definition says that trait is something that encapsulates methods and field definitions. Okay, so it's something that encapsulates methods and field definition. So it is something similar to class, right? When I say encapsulate, it means that you are having a trait by name XYZ, which is having some variables where x is equal to 10 or something like that. So you are having a field definition, which is a x is an integer, and you are also having some method def add, and it returns you something 1 plus 2. So basically this is a method, right? So the definition of trait says that it is something that encapsulates methods and field definitions, var and def. It differs. Even the classes also have some variables and functions or the methods define it. So it differs by this way. You have to use this keyword for defining a trait. So you have to use a keyword trait instead of class. So it is very similar to class. Just think of it as a class with some special properties, and you define it with a keyword as trait. Trait XYZ is var x10 def add is equal to whatever 1, 2, 3. Then how it is different from class is, the first difference is you cannot create the object of it, right? You won't be create the object of it. For class, you were creating the object of it by saying that uh, val a is equal to new xyz, right? So you were writing something that val object is equal to new xyz, right? But in case of trat, you cannot do that. You cannot create an instance of it. It is used only for inheritance purpose. It is only used for inheritance purpose, right? So how it is different from a class? The first difference is you cannot create the object of it. You cannot write val ob is equal to new xyz. You cannot you create an object for it. You can only use it for inheritance purpose. So what I can do is I can create a new class xyz1, and I write extends xyz, right? So what I'm doing is I'm saying there is a class by name xyz1 that is extending this trait xyz. So whatever are the variable x is equal to 10, and whatever is the method add, that is automatically implemented over there, right? You don't have to implement it again because you are already extending it. So whatever is available over here, it also comes into this class. So first thing we said that it is used for inheritance. Then second thing, why we actually need this is, when you are having a class, this is called as a child class. This is called as a child. This is called as a child. And this is called as a parent. The other one is called as a parent. So this is a parent, right? This is a parent, XYZ. It's the same XYZ over here. This is a parent. This is a child. So there is a child, there is a parent. Child is extending a parent. Child is getting all the qualities from parent. He's also developing his own quality, but he's also getting all the qualities from his parents. Now, what is the difference in case of trait is, when we talk in terms of class, let's talk in terms of class first. For class, this one C1 is the parent and C2 is a child, right? So class C1 is a parent class, child C2 is a child class. So this is a parent class, C1 is a parent, C2 is a child. So what you are doing is class C2 extend C1, right? So in class, you can only extend a single class, right? So this child class can only extend C1. Similarly, another example can be C1 and C2 are extended by C3, right? This is not possible in terms of class, right? So when you are defining as a class, when you are defining a class C1 and C2, and you make this C1 is a parent, C2 is a parent, and you are making C3 as a child. When you are using a class, you cannot extend more than one class. What I am doing in this example where I have cut is C3, which is a child class, is trying to extend more than one parent class, right? C3 is trying to extend C1 and C2. So since C3 is trying to extend C1 and C2, it is not possible, right? So in classes, if you have class, it is not possible. But if you have a trait, if you have a trait T1 extended by C1, it is possible. One child class, one trait class possible. There are multiple trait classes T1, T2. There are multiple traits T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, 7, 8. And it is also extended by a child class C1. It is also possible, right? So what is the difference with the class is you can only extend a single class. You can only extend a single class. But for trait, the difference is you can extend multiple traits, right? So overall, if you know much of inheritance and all, this is the only difference, right? That you need to and remember going forward. Other things what we are going to do is practical, and that is just like learning the same thing again and again, and just making the concepts more clear with different things. But these are the few things that you have to remember as a takeaway. So definition of trait says that it encapsulates methods and field definitions. So and it is defined by a keyword called as a trait, right? So the keyword is trait. I have encapsulated the variables var x is equal to 10. I have also encapsulated the method add, def add is equal to 1 plus 2. When I am defining a child class, it says that class xyz is extending xyz1 is extending xyz. The one that is getting extended is called as a child class, and this is a parent, which is a trait. So this is a parent and this is a child. In case of trait, you cannot create an object of it. You can never create an object of it. You can never say that val ob is equal to new xyz. It is used for inheritance purpose. That is, you want to take some methods and the variable that is defined in the parent class and use directly in the child class. You can do that. Why we actually need a trait is when we want to extend multiple classes. It is not possible with class. You cannot extend a multiple class. You cannot extend C1 and C2 into C3, right? You cannot extend C1 and C2 into C3. But you can definitely extend any number of traits T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7. You can define any number of traits and you can extend it to C1, right? So this is the definition. Let us revise one more time, and I just ask questions and you try to answer. So what is the definition of trait?
It encapsulates method and field
Field
definition.
definition, meaning it will have a field definition and methods inside it. What is this XYZ1? Is it a child or a parent?
Child
Child. And what is a parent?
XYZ.
XYZ. Can I create an object out of a trait?
No,
Alright. Why it is used?
for inheritance.
Inheritance. Um, to be more precise, it is used when you want to do a multiple inheritance. And class C1 is extended by C2. So this is a parent, this is a child possible. C2 can only extend one parent class. It is extending only one parent class, C1. It is possible. C1 and C2, C3, C1 and C2 were parents. C3 was child. It was trying to extend two classes. Is it possible?
No.
No. But for trait, if it is extending two traits, is it possible?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Let's go ahead.
Harish, in multiple inheritance is only possible through traits, right?
Yeah, it's only possible through traits, or it can be a mixture of trait and one class. So then again, going to a trait. So once you are defining a trait, I'm defining a trait, and let's say I define a trait as car. Okay, and let's say I want to define a methods, define engine. Okay, so def engine means we are defining a method called as an engine, and I say print ln 1000 cc. So I have defined a trait. The keyword is trait. Then the name of the trait is car. We are defining some functions inside it, engine, and we are printing something. Def, I define wheel. I don't do anything. Then I define has a engine, has a wheel, has a brakes. I define a method as a brake, but the body is empty. This is called as a body. The body was present for engine. For wheel and brakes, the body is not present, right? The body for this function, wheel and brake, is not present. So it is possible that the body is missing over here. But what is more important is when I define a class Mercedes that extends a car, right? So I am defining a Mercedes, which is a child class, which is extending a trait called as a car. Now, if you see over here, there was a function engine which had a body present. The wheel and brakes were not present, right? There was no body. So since there was no body that was present over here, you will have to define this body over here, right? Else it will give you an error. Print, let's say I want to print four wheels, and I define another function diff brakes, and I say print disc brakes. Okay. So what I'm saying is the trait that is implemented over here, that is car, is having three definitions, three def meaning three functions or three methods. Out of these three methods, the first method, engine, had the body over here. The second and third method, wheel and brakes, were not having the body. It was not having the body. So when there is a subclass or a child class Mercedes that extends this trait, it has to define the body for it. It has to define the body for it. In other words, to say in the terms of technical words, let us write this. Trait can have an unimplemented methods. The trait can have the unimplemented methods. So these were unimplemented methods. And I will say unimplemented methods in traits should be implemented in class extending given trait. So what I'm saying is, if there is any unimplemented method over here, the wheel and brakes were an unimplemented method, meaning there was no body present. So if there are any unimplemented methods, or if the body is not present in the given trait, it has to be present in the class that is extending it, right? So is this clear? Any doubts in this so far? Okay. So what is this car? Is it a trait or a class?
It is a trait
Why?
because we have defined trait before car.
Keyword is trait. Okay. So is the body present over here?
Yes.
Is the body present over here?
No.
There is no body present. So if the body is not present or the method is not implemented in a given trait, it has to be always implemented in a child class that is extending a trait. So that is the reason. If the wheel is not defined over here, brake is not defined over here, you have to define it. There is no other option, right? But you can also do something like this. This is optional. This is not mandatory. You can also define engine. You can also define an engine, and you can say that print 2000 cc, right? So I can also define an engine and say 2000 cc. So if someone makes a object out of Mercedes, it will say 2000 cc engine, right? Because you have overwritten this method, but it's not mandatory. If you don't overwrite, then it will take this method from here, from the trait. It will say 1000 cc. But if you are overwriting over here, if you are doing an overwrite over here, then it will take whatever is the method that is overwritten, right? So over here again, you have to just remember these things, that you can have an unimplemented methods in a trait, right? You can have an unimplemented method in a trait, but that unimplemented method or the body not present for that method should be implemented in this class that is extending it. Okay, is this clear? Any doubt so far?
Right. So, method overloading can only be done from trait to class, right? If we inherit particular or maybe multiple traits to one class, then we can do in a overload multiple methods also, right? Like from one class, I want color, and I'm just defining a different color in class, so it is possible, right?
Yes, yes, yes. You can override the methods. Yes. Any other questions?
No worries.
Okay. Okay. So if you see,
I have
yeah,
one doubt.
yes, yes,
So if we have two traits like trait car and trait car one, and both of the trait have similar methods, like both have brakes. So while inheriting both the traits to the class, which one the class will select?
okay, that's a good question. So let's go to that. So over here in this example, if you see, there was only one trait that we inherited from class Mercedes extends car. Okay. Now let's say I am having a class. Let's take another example. We were having one trait. Let's say we were having a trait vehicle. Then we had a trait car. Then we had a class Mercedes. If you want to inherit from multiple trait, you have to write extends whatever vehicle with car. Okay. So over here just need to remember that width is important and extend is important, right? So you were having two traits, one was vehicle and another was car, and you are making a class Mercedes by extending these two traits, right? Now let's go ahead. Let's say this also had a method called as a brakes, and let's say for that matter it was the function was also defined. It will print something ABC, let's say A, something it will print. I just want to say that body was defined, and this also prints something, right? So the question is, if we are extending from these two traits, which one will it take? So always it will take the one that is written in the last, right? So it will start searching from the last. So what is the last? Extend vehicle with car. So car is the last. So if you say anytime, if you say brake, it will take the brake. It will look for the brake in this car. If it is found in a brake is found in this car, then it will use this. If it is not found, then it will use this, right? So does this answer you?
Yes, Harish.
Okay. Okay. So two things we are saying. First thing is, if you want to extend multiple traits, it's like this: extends whatever vehicle with, right? So extends vehicle with. So this with is important, right? By extends and with. And let's say if you want to extend even more, you can also do with something something. You can have multiple, right? So you can go on writing with car, with motorcycle, with cycle, or whatever, right? So you can extend more and more. It will start looking from the right hand side and it will try to use the method which is found in the extreme right uh, trait that is being extended, right? Any questions so far?
Harish, so I believe that with is a keyword here we are defining, right?
Right. So there is a with
So
as well as extend. So the first one will
extend,
be
yes.
with extend with, yeah.
So if I compare with Java, like in Java we used to write like class A extends B implements C. So
Right.
is this with referring to implement keyword?
Right. Similar only, right? It's similar, yes. Okay. Any other questions so far?
No, Harish.
Okay. So no questions, then we'll just simply go ahead and try to do some practical. Whatever we have covered, the theory is all, that's the different thing. Again, we'll just try to do the same thing in practicals, nothing else. Okay, so let's create a new project. We have to go to file and new and project. Then select Scala, then select SBT, do next. Then project name, let's put this as a trades demo. Select it as this window. It is still loading. Okay, so it's loaded. Let's try. Then once go here, then go to source, go to main, go to Scala, right click, new. Cannot see Scala object, so what should we do?
We need to add framework support.
Add framework support, Scala. Okay, then right click, new, then Scala class. Then let's give it as a name as a demo A traits. Okay, Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead with the practicals and let's start with defining a trait. What is the keyword for trait?
A trait.
TRAIT, right? And let's say I'm defining a trait with the name car. Okay. And to define a trait with the name car, I do a start and close bracket. And let's say I define the same methods, define engine, and the engine has basically no parameter, and it just prints that engine is 1000 cc. Okay. Then let's define some more. Define brake, then def uh, brake. Then what can be there in a car? Engine, brake. Define something else also, right?
Color
Tire,
maybe.
tires is it? Okay. So let's define some function, and oh, I did some mistake. Instead of defining it as an object, I defined it as a class. Let me delete this. Okay, so we are creating an object called as a demo A trait, and we already defined a trait above. I just defined a trait car. Then we are defining an engine, brake, and tires. Then we are also defining a class, and we give that class a name as Mercedes. Okay, so this is my car. This is my Mercedes. Since I want to extend it, what is the keyword? Extends, right?
Extent.
Extends car. Okay, and okay, what's the error it is giving? Okay, so let's define whatever we had not defined above. Def break. Okay, so break was not defined, so I just define a break method, right? And I say that print ln disk breaks, and define tires, and we are saying that we it has four tires. Okay, and when I want to create a class for it, when I want to create an object for it, then I say that first I have to define a main function, control space enter. Okay, then I say that I want to define a val m1 is equal to new Mercedes. Okay, so I've created a new Mercedes, and I say m1 dot brake, m1 dot tires, and m1 dot engine. right? Okay. So just have a look over here. We have defined a keyword by the name trait. This is the class that is extending. Whatever was the unimplemented methods, these were the unimplemented methods. It are implemented over here, right? It has to be implemented somewhere, right? And I try to use M1 brake and M1 tire and M1 engine. So brake is found over here in the Mercedes. This tires is found over here and engine is found over here. Just try to run it. It is running. So it says that it has a disc brakes, it has 4 tires and engine is 1000 cc. So brake was found over here, it was executed. Tires was found over here, it was executed in the Mercedes itself, and engine was already implemented in the trait. So it come from the trait engine is 1000 cc, right? Now what I want to show you over here is, let's say if there was a tires, if there was a tires, right? So what I will do is I just don't want to implement this tires. So this tires is not implemented, right? So this is the method tires which is not implemented, but it was defined in a trait, right? And let's say I try to run it. So there is one method called as a tires that was unimplemented, or the body was not present in the trait, right? And the body is present, body was not present in the trait, and we have not even implemented. So what it says, class Mercedes needs to be abstract. What is the abstract class? Abstract class is the something where you cannot create an object for it, right? But I am creating an object for it. So class Mercedes needs to be an abstract, since the method tires in the trait car of type unit is not defined. Okay. So what it says that the tires method, the tire, if you see over here, tires in the trait car of type unit is not defined. So there was a tires method over here. It has to be defined, right? So what is the conclusion by doing this is, even if I am not using any this method called as a tires, right? But it is always required that if there is a method in a trait which is not implemented, it should be implemented in the child class that is extending it. Is it clear?
Yes, Harish.
Okay. So this is the important thing to take away. We'll take just a break of just 5 minutes and we'll continue in 5 minutes. The time is 10. I'll just continue in 5 minutes. I guess you can grab the water if you want. Okay, can we start?
Yes, Harish.
Okay, great. Okay. So let's write some notes over here. Why is it a trait? What is a keyword?
TRAIT.
Keyword trait. Okay. Is the body present for this?
Yes.
Body is present for engine method. Is the body present for a brakes method?
No.
Body body is not present for brake method. It should be implemented in the class it should be implemented it should be implemented in the class that is extending trait car, right? So if the body is not present, it should be extended in the class, which is it should be implemented in the class which is extending it, unless it is an abstract class, right? If it is an abstract class, anyhow you cannot create an object of it. Okay, the same thing, the body is not present for the tires method, it should be implemented in the class that is extending the trait car. Okay. Okay, so is this a class that is extending a trait?
Yes, Harish.
What is the keyword? Keyword to extend?
Extends.
Keyword is extend. Okay. Over here, the unimplemented method is implemented here, right? What was unimplemented method? Break. Unimplemented break method is implemented over here, right? And similarly, unimplemented tires method is implemented over here, right? Okay. So this is the important thing. Just remember that you need to implement such things. And let's go ahead. Let's go ahead to the next example. And let me just copy this piece of code over there as well. Right click, new, right click, new, Scala class, change it to object, give it as a name as demo b rate. Okay. So there was a car as one of the trait. Let us also make another trait. The name of the trait is vehicle. Okay. So the name of this trait is vehicle. And let's say instead of vehicle, let's make it as four-wheeler. Four-wheeler. Okay. So the name of this trait is four-wheeler. And let's say we define over here as tires. So it's only defining as it's a four-wheeler. It can be something that is pushed by hand, or it can be a car, or it can be a bus, or anything, right? So engine may be present or not present, brake may be present or not present, but one thing is sure that a four-wheeler will have four tires. So I say that print ln it has four tires. Okay. So it is having a four tires. Four tires is present in four-wheeler. Okay. So what we have done is we have defined another trait, four-wheeler, which is having a method called as a tires, and there is another trait called as a car which is having engine, brake and tires. And over here what we are doing is we are saying that class Mercedes extends car. Okay, now what we'll say is we just don't want to extend car, we want to extend four-wheeler with car. Okay, so I am saying that I want to extend four-wheeler with car. And let's say I don't want the tires over here because tires was already defined over there, right? So this is the whole program that I have written. There is a trait called as a four-wheeler which is having tires. Then there is a trait called as a car which is having engine and brake. Then there is a class called as a Mercedes that is extending four-wheeler with car. and it is also implementing this method called as a break, which was not implemented over here, right? And over here, just remember that keyword is extend and with. Okay, it's not just an extend, you have to use extend, you also need to use with. And to start with main function, and this is the main function, and let's try to create the object for Mercedes. So let's say val m1 is equal to new Mercedes, val m1 is equal to new Mercedes, m1 dot break, m1 dot engine, and m1 dot tires, right? So we are saying that m1 dot brake, m1 dot engine, and m1 dot tires. So this brakes is only implemented over here, so it is going to say that disc brake. Engine is also only implemented over here, so it is going to say that engine. And tires is implemented over here, so it is going to say that four tires are present in four wheeler. Okay, let's say in a car. Okay, disc brakes in Mercedes. Okay, and just try to run it. So it is saying that there is some error, car is already defined. It is saying because in the previous example also we are using the same example, car, in demo 8 trade. So it is saying that why are you defining again and again. So let me just add b to it at the end always, so that the previous program we wrote the same name car, so it is not troubling us. I'm just writing b because of the previous program. Okay, and just try to execute it, run. Four wheeler B, car B, Mercedes B, four wheeler B, and car B. Okay, so it says that disc brake in Mercedes. So whenever it was calling a brake was present in this car B, but implemented over here. So it says that disc brake in Mercedes. Engine is 1000 cc in a car. So engine is 1000 cc in a car, and four tires are present in a four wheeler. So four tires are present in a four wheeler. Okay. So this is the same thing as the previous example. What is the only difference? I am extending it with car. Okay. Previously it was only car. Now we are having four wheeler and car. We are doing extending two traits. We are extending two different traits, right? And similarly, you can extend multiple traits as well. You can also extend car and so on and so forth. Okay. Now let's do this thing. When I say tires, when I say I want to print tires, when I'm saying I want to print tires, the tires were only present in four wheeler, so it was saying that four tires is present in our four wheeler. Let's say if I also define this function tires, if I also define the function tires over here, and I say four tires are present in a car. Okay. So if you see over here, the tires is present in four wheeler, and tires is also present in car. Tires is present in four wheeler. Tires is also present in car. When I say extend four wheelers with car, when I call this tires, which tires will be printed? Will it be this one or this one?
The last one with car,
Car one. Why?
because we have written because it starts executing from the last.
Right. Okay. Let's see this. It's giving an error. What's the error? Class Mercedes B inherits conflicting member method. Tires isn't it this? Class Mercedes B is inheriting conflicting members method. Tires is in trade four wheeler B of type unit and method tires is in car B with type unit. Note this can be resolved by declaring an override in class B. Class Mercedes B extends this with this keyword extend with. Okay. So it is saying that it is present in both, but ideally it should have taken from it. Let's try to find it. Okay, he has defined add, update, search, delete, stock quantity. Okay, okay. We have to make some changes over here. If it is just simply defined, it won't take. You have to define over here as well. def tires. So what you are doing is you are overriding it and you are giving something called as a super. Okay. So you just have to write def tires and it will automatically come super dot tires. Okay, and just try to run it. This is the thing that I was missing to use this super dot tires. Okay, so if you see over here, when we extended, it was four wheelers was the first, and the car was on the second, right? First was four wheeler, and there was a car. So when I say tires, it will go over here tires, and it will execute super dot tires. So when I say super dot tires, it will look from in the car B. If it is present in car B, so it will take this, that is four tires is present in a car. So it is printing currently as four tires present in car. Okay. Let's say if you want the one from the four wheeler to be printed, what can we do? What can we do if we want this four tires is present in a four wheeler to be printed?
We need to write that word at the last. I mean, with near,
Okay.
we have to replace with car B.
Yeah, okay. Car B will come over here and four wheeler will come over here. Okay. So if I do this, previously it was coming that four tires is present in a car. Now if I run, it is coming that four tires is present in a four wheeler, right? So whatever is written at the right hand side, it will come from there. Then it will come from here, right? So it will start looking from the extreme right towards the left. So it is looking from the extreme right. That is, if it is found in a four wheeler, it will be showing that. So super dot tires will execute the four wheelers one. But if I change this four wheelers over here and I make four wheelers here, then it will be printed from a car P. Okay, so it is coming from a car P. So I will just write a note. If same method tires is implemented in multiple traits, if it is implemented in multiple traits, it will be executed from the trait on right side. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what we have seen in this program as compared to the previous program is, in the previous program we were only using the extends keyword. Now with extend we are also using a with keyword. So over here we are extending multiple traits was the first thing. Second thing, we saw that if the same method is implemented in the multiple traits, if the same method is implemented in multiple traits, for example tires, it will be executed from the trait that is written on the right side. So since on the right side car B is written, the tires will be executed from here. It won't be executed from here, right? So whatever is written on the right hand side, it will execute from that particular trait. Also, you have to define something like override def tires as super dot tires. So basically you are overriding the definition of tires and you are saying that call from super dot tires. It's just a syntax that is required. Okay. So if you don't write this syntax, you have already seen that if you don't write this syntax, it says that if I don't write this super, then it says that okay, tires is implemented in two different traits. From where to execute, I don't know, right? So it is present in two different traits. I don't know where to execute. So for that we need to write as super dot tires. Then it will know that it has to execute from the one that is present on a right hand side. Okay, any doubts so far, anyone?
No worries.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, just copy this. Let's copy this and let's go to the next program and change it to object. Give it as a name as demo c trait and just replace demo c trait. Wherever there was a b, let us replace it with c so that there is no confusion with the previous program. Okay, and just execute. It should run as per the previous program, and let's go ahead to add one more level of hierarchy. Okay, so let's add one more level of hierarchy. You are having two traits. Something similar to trait is called as an abstract class. Okay, so something similar to trait that is used is abstract class. Okay, so what I will do is I will just define an abstract class over here. We are just adding few more things. Abstract class, and I give the abstract class name as vehicle. And in abstract class, I need to define some functions. I say that the function is category. Okay, so I have defined a function that is a category, and it's a abstract class. Abstract class meaning you cannot create an object of it again. And I'm also defining abstract class as category. Over here, when I was extending it, I will first extend it with vehicle with four wheelers, with vehicle with four wheeler with car. So as compared to the previous example, I have just added this particular abstract class vehicle, defined a function called as a category, but did not define a body for it. And I have extend over here. Okay, you can see that it is already giving some error. It says that class Mercedes C must either be declared as an abstract or implement abstract member category function, right? So it is saying that either define this class as an abstract class or implement the category method. Either you have to define it as an abstract class or you have to implement the category method. So let's do that. We have to implement the category method, and define category method, and let's say print it is Mercedes. Okay, because it's a Mercedes, right? So what I have done is over here I define a category function which was not having a body, and over here I am defining its body that it is a Mercedes. And let's say if I do m1 dot category, so it will print it is a Mercedes. Okay, so you can see that what different we did over here was we defined an abstract class. Abstract class is a class which you cannot implement or you cannot create an object of it again. And I also extended this vehicle abstract class, and the function that was not defined category I have defined it over here, so it says that it is Mercedes, right? So what I wanted to say over here is when you are extending the traits, when you are extending these traits, you can also extend this vehicle, which is an abstract class. So what I have done is I have also extended an abstract class vehicle, right? And I did not implemented this function over here. I just implemented the function over here, right? I could have implemented above also, it's okay. But what is it different from the previous example? We have defined an abstract class by the name vehicle. Then while making a child class Mercedes, we are saying that first extends the abstract class vehicle, and the category is the name of the method, and it prints it is Mercedes. So it prints it is Mercedes. Is it clear? Any doubts in this so far?
Can we debug one time?
Okay, sure. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it starts with val m1 is equal to new Mercedes. Then it goes and creates the calls the constructor for Mercedes. It has an abstract class, comes back. So constructor is called and object is created. It goes and call m1 dot break. M1 dot break is implemented over here. So it says that disk breaks in Mercedes. Then it goes to m1 dot engine. It goes in trait car C because engine was only present in car C. Then it goes in m1 dot tires. M1 dot tires definition says that call super dot tires, and super dot tires calls from car C because car C is written on the right hand side. Four wheeler C is on the left hand side, so it calls from car C because it's on the right hand side. Comes back, goes to m1 dot category. M1 dot category is part of the abstract class. However, it is defined, the body was not defined in the abstract class, it's only defined in a Mercedes C class, and it comes out. Any questions?
No, Rish.
Okay. Okay. Then let's go ahead. Okay. So if you see this particular example again, we are making it more complex. Let me remove all these comments because all these comments are written before also. Okay. Let us make it more complex. So if you see this tires was implemented over here and here. Engine was only implemented in car C. Engine was only implemented in car C, saying that engine is 1000 cc in car. Let's say I also want to implement the engine in Mercedes C. If I also want to implement it in Mercedes C, what I will do is I will just write engine, def engine. Okay. So what I'm doing is def engine. Engine was already defined over here in car C, saying that engine is 1000 cc. And if I write def engine, it automatically comes as override. It comes automatically override because the engine is already defined over here. Engine is already defined over here. And it says that super engine. Instead of doing that, what I will do is I will say that print ln engine of Mercedes is 1000 cc. So if you see over here and here in the previous example, the engine was is 1000 cc in a car, and engine of Mercedes is 1000 cc. So what I'm doing over here is we are actually overriding it. We are actually overriding it. So engine was already defined over here. Engine was already defined over here. But what I did is in the class that was getting extended over here, we are just overwriting it. So let's try to run it. And it says that engine of Mercedes is 1000 cc. Engine of Mercedes is 1000 cc. So why it says engine of Mercedes is 1000 cc? Because there was an engine function that was present in car C, and over here what we have done is we have just overwritten it. We have just overwritten it, right? So we can just override something that is already defined, right? We can just override something that is already defined. Is it clear?
Pretty sure it is like method overloading, right?
It is using method
Method
overrating,
overloading or
overloading. Yes,
overriding. Sorry.
yeah, it is. It is same. It is same. Overloading, overriding, both are same also. So yes, it is same.
Mhm.
So basically, the method was defined in a parent trait. In the child class, it has just overwritten it. Okay. Uh, let's make it more complex, but let's just look into what we are doing. Instead of saying that engine was 1000 cc, I say that where x is equal to 1000. Where x is equal to 1000, and instead of saying 1000 cc, okay. So what I'm doing is I'm saying that engine, instead of saying that x is 1000, instead of just writing 1000 cc, I'm defining x as a variable. And let's also define x as a variable. X is equal to 1000 cc. Okay, I also define x is equal to 2000 over here. And let's say Mercedes is 2000. Okay, so can you look into this example, and can you say me, when the engine function is called, will this engine function be called or this engine function be called? Question is, will this engine function be called or this engine function be called?
The one which is highlighted.
This one?
Yes.
Why?
Because here on statement number 22, we have used with car C, and it is inside trait car C at the top.
But in the main child class it is overwritten, right?
Right.
So which one will be called? Will it be this one or this one?
Okay. Right, got it. So it will be the one which is now highlighted, right?
Now, right? Because we are overwriting it, right?
Right.
What difference I have done is, I am not using something, I'm just saying x is equal to 1000, right? And x is equal to 2000, right? And let's just remove this also. Okay, now which one will be called? This one, right? There is only one.
Yes.
Now what will be printed? Will it be printed as x is equal to 1000 cc, or will it be printed as x is equal to 2000 cc?
X is equal to 2000.
X is equal to 2000 cc. Why?
Because we have defined X is equal to 2000 in class Mercedes C.
Let's try to run it. Okay, so it says that x is equal to 2000 cc. Why? Because x you defined 1000 over here, but what you have done over here is you have already overwritten it to 2000, right? So when the object was actually created, the object was created for Mercedes C, right? So whatever is that the lowest level of hierarchy, x is equal to 2000, so it was overwritten to 2000 cc, right? So is it clear why it is 2000?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Val t is equal to 4, okay, and I say that t plus, okay, 4 tires are present, so I'm saying that t is equal to 4. And if I want to change it to let's say this Mercedes car has a 6 tires, so can I change it to t is equal to 6? Can I change t is equal to 6 because Mercedes is having 6 tires?
No,
Why?
because it is immutable.
Because val, it is defined as a val,
Yes.
which is immutable, right?
So
And let's
immutable.
say if I still want to do it, then I can do is as override. Okay, override val t is equal to 6. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm using an override function to override that, right? So I'm just using a override function to override this tire. So t was defined as a 4, but as though it was a val, I can still override by using a override function and do a run. Okay, so it has overwritten it to us saying that it is a 6 tires is present in a car. Okay, So it was a val, so we need to write it as a override, but it was a var. I can simply write it as whatever I want to, uh, just change the value directly. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubts in this? Any doubts in
No
this so
worries.
far? No, right.
No worries.
Okay. Yeah, I will suggest just revise it multiple times because a lot of things were introduced. Okay, this one I had removed it temporary, so I'm just writing override, right? And Mercedes. And let's just talk about something. Abstract is a keyword for abstract class. So we are just revising this finally before going ahead and closing this topic. So just let's revise this, and after that we have to look into value class and universal trait. So we are just closing this traits topic. Let's do some revision. We can also extend one class along with other traits. So in this example, we are also extending one class, which is an abstract class, and the name of that is vehicle. So I'm saying that there is an abstract class vehicle, and then I say method category is not implemented. Okay, then you are having a trait four wheeler. So we are having a trait four wheeler C, and which was having a method as tires. There is another trait car C, which is having two variables var and val. It is having tires, it is having engine, it is having tires, and it has brake, which is not implemented. Over here we are just changing the value of x, change value of x. Okay, that is cc, car cc, and override the value of tires. Is it mandatory to define this brake over here?
No worries.
Why?
In Scala, we it is not mandatory.
No, is it necessary to define this brake function over here?
Oh, break function. Yes.
It is this is required, right?
Sorry.
Because yeah,
I was referring to.
the switch case brake, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, it is necessary because brake method was not implemented in trait C, right? In trait car C. So if you see over here, this brake method was not implemented. Brake method is not implemented. Okay. Is it necessary to write this super dot tires for tires? Is it necessary to override this tires? This tires is
Yes.
present over here in car C, and it is also present in four wheeler. So is it necessary to override it?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, because if I don't override, Scala will not know where to call. So if you don't write this, Scala won't know where to call tires, where to call tires method. That is call from car C or call from four wheeler. Okay, since super dot tires is written, it will call from, it will call from, will it call from four wheeler or it will call from car C?
Car C,
Car C. Why it will call from car C?
because we are overriding the value of tire.
We are overriding because we are, because no, because why it will call from car C? Why it will not call from four wheeler? Why it will call from car C? Why it will not call from four wheeler? Why this car tires will be called from car C and why it will be not called from four wheeler?
Because we have defined the tires function because we are overriding val t is equal to 6
No,
here.
no. I have highlighted the answer.
Right, because car C is the last function. I
No,
mean the last written.
right, because it is written in the last. Because car C is written in the last, right? So it basically starts from executing from the right side, right? It is found in a car C, or it is found in a four wheeler, or it is found in a vehicle. So basically, it goes from the right to left, right? So this is the one thing that you need to remember. Okay. Then this is pretty much about the traits. Let's go ahead and see something more. Okay. Let's copy this into another example, and I will just remove most of the things. Right click, new Scala class, demo d trait. Oops. Create an object, delete, right click, new Scala class, object, demo d trait. Just remove everything. I will just remove everything. I just keep one abstract class, one four wheeler, um, one car, okay, and this is Mercedes, okay, and does nothing basically, and remove this, okay, what it says, add abstract modifier, implement methods, okay. So this should be vehicle D, right, because else it will confuse with the previous program. It should be car D, this should be Mercedes D, vehicle D, four wheeler D, car D, and Mercedes D. Wow, looks good. Okay, so actually we are not looking into much of the functions, or I'm not making a programmable the thing that needs to be uh, a program that needs to be run. Just clearing some more concepts. So basically we were having some abstract class that was a vehicle D. There was a four wheeler trait, car D trait. Okay, and there was a Mercedes D class that was extending this and this and this. Okay, So let's say if I write something like this, I can also write something like this, right? It extends vehicle D. Okay. So what I want to do is, I want to say that whenever you want to extend, whenever you want to extend car D, whenever you want to extend car D, okay, let's say this program is written by some XYZ. Let's say this program is written by some XYZ developer. Okay. And this program from here onwards is written by some other developer. Let's say his name is ABC. Okay. And this XYZ developer has written this piece of program from here to here. From here to here, this program is written by some XYZ developers, and he made it open source. Okay. But what he wants is, whenever you extend a trait car D, he wants whenever you extend car D, you should also extend four wheeler and vehicle. Okay. So what I have written over here is, there was a code that was written by some developer, and he made this code as open source. And what he wants is, if someone want to use his trait that is written by this guy, and if someone want to use this, extend this car D, if you are extending, you are another developer, you are using his code which was made open source. Okay, of course you cannot understand and go into someone's code and try to understand from start to end, right? But what he wants to do is, he want to force you, if you are extending car D, if you are extending car D, right, you are extending car D. So if you are extending a car D, he want to force you to extend four wheeler and vehicle D also. He wants you to, he wants to force you to also extend vehicle D and four wheeler D. So what he does is, he writes something like this vehicle D with, we are missing on this column. Okay, so very difficult to do the programming on the live sessions. Okay, four wheeler, this one is solved, the dependency is solved. Then why it is giving, what is this error? Illegal inheritance, self type Mercedes D does not conform to four wheeler D with four wheeler B. Okay, so this should not be four wheeler, this is four wheeler D and this is vehicle D, right? Okay, great. So let's just revise. What we did was abstract class. This was the abstract class that we made. Then this was the trait four wheeler D. There was a trait another car D. And what it says that whenever you want to extend this car D, you also need to extend four wheeler D and vehicle D, right? Whenever you want to extend car D, you also need to extend these two. So if you see, we are extending a car D over here. So it is mandatory for us to extend vehicle D and four wheeler D. Let's say if I remove the vehicle four wheeler D from here, then it will give you an error. It says that illegal inheritance, self type Mercedes D does not conform to four wheeler D and vehicle D, right? So it says that illegal inheritance, self type by Mercedes D does not conform to four wheeler D with vehicle D. So you can see that I have put a vehicle D over here, but four wheeler D was missing. So you also need to write a four wheeler D, right? So uh, let us revise. What is this?
We are
What is this
creating an
abstract
abstract
class,
class.
right? Abstract is a keyword. What is this? Trait.
Trait.
This is another trait car D. And when I write this line, what does it mean?
That means it is mandatory to extend four-wheeler D and vehicle D whenever we try to uh, I mean, extend a car D.
Whenever we extend a car D, it is mandatory because there can be some function in car D that just says that super dot tires, and tires is present in four wheeler or vehicle. So it's always whenever you write such kind of trait which is doing a lot of cross reference, right? So it is always good to say that whenever you are extending car D, then you also want to extend this and this, right? In general, this kind of programming I have never done it, right? You usually it doesn't happen that you have to write so such kind of programs. It's only when you are actually writing a very good framework, or you are doing some commits to some Apache projects and so on. Only then you need such kind of concepts and so many things that are useful for you. But usually in your general work life, you will never do this, right? So if you make run and it will run successfully, we haven't defined any method, so it should not do anything. It's I forgot to change demo D over here, so I just change it to demo D and run it. Okay, so it runs successfully. There is no method or nothing to do, so it doesn't do anything. It says that it finished with the exit code 0. So this is about trait that I wanted to cover. Then we need to go to value class and universal trait. Any doubts so far, anyone?
No worries.
Okay, so just take note of this, that if you extend car D, make sure you also extend four wheeler D and vehicle D. So whenever you extend uh, car D, make sure you also extend four wheeler D and vehicle D. Okay. Then let's go ahead. Let's go to the next example, and we'll just do directly that example, and we'll see the new concepts. So right click over here, click on Scala, right click, new Scala class, which will be demo D, demo E, trait. Okay. So again, let's start with trait. Okay. So I'm defining a trait, and let's give that name of the trait as car E, and that says I am extending any, and that's having a function called as print, and it says that println print this. Okay, so I'm defining a trait car E, and we define a class, let's say Mercedes E, that is of taking val x in, okay, extends any val with car E. Okay, and let's say this is the main function, we define a main function over here. We say that val m1 is equal to new Mercedes E. Okay, and Mercedes E, I am saying that Mercedes model number 5 something, so I'm passing 5, and I say that m1 dot print. Okay, okay. So there is something called as a value class. Whenever you define this class, okay, it is called as a value class. So what is a value class is, value class makes you cannot create the object at the runtime. You cannot create the object at the runtime. You cannot allocate a runtime object. Cannot allocate runtime object. Why you cannot allocate a runtime object is because whenever you are making a value class, you will always have value class always has only one parameter with type as val. Okay, so the value class is having only one parameter with type as val. Val meaning once it is allocated, the value cannot be overwritten. So even though you have created a Mercedes M1 with 5, you cannot change it to 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 anytime. It has only one parameter, and that parameter is also of the type as val. Val means you cannot change it. You cannot extend a value class. So you cannot extend a value class. You can extend other classes, but you cannot extend a value class. So this Mercedes E is a value class because you have written as any val, right? It extends any val, and it has only one parameter that is of type val. That means once it gets the value, you cannot create another runtime object. You cannot change it, right? And you cannot make a new class that extends this value class. Also, value class cannot extend a trait. A value class cannot extend a trait, right? A value class cannot extend a trait. That's why you have a universal trait. So there is a something new concept that's called as a universal trait. So what does this universal trait will do is it can be used with a value class, right? So if you see any trait that is extending any, that is called as a universal trait. If there is any trait that extends any is called as a universal trait. So this is a universal trait. Okay. This is called as a value class. This is called as a value class because it has only one parameter, and that is of the type val. It is only one parameter of the type val. Moreover, you cannot define a variable inside it also. Val x is equal to 1. You cannot do this. Okay. You cannot do this. If you see over here, it will already give you an, it says that it's already in a scope. Also, if I let's say make it as a y, field definition are not allowed in a value class. You cannot define a field in a value class. You cannot define any variables in a value class. Can only define in you can only define in you can only define methods. You can only define a methods. That is, you can define a method def hello and print hello. You can define a method, right? What it says. Okay. So println hello, right? So you can define a method by hello, but you cannot define a variable by any name, right? You cannot define a variable. You can have something a definition, but you cannot have a def or you can have a method, but you cannot have a variable. Okay. What are the benefits of value class? What are benefits of value class? The first benefit is less initialization. So of course you don't have a variable, so you don't have to bother about initialization. Second benefit is better performance. Okay. The third benefit is less memory usage, right? And what is the use case for this? It is the use case for this is for performance and memory optimization. Okay. So what is the use case of a value class? It is used for performance and memory optimization. Okay. So these are the different things that I have written about the value class and universal trait. To be frank, I haven't used this value class or universal trait anytime, right? Traits we still use, but value class and universal trait have never used. But what is the use for this? Why we need to learn it? If you are actually doing some programming and you are becoming some programmer who is actually contributing to big data projects, Apache Spark, or you're doing some contribution to big projects, open source projects, or you're writing a very extensive framework for very good company like Uber or Google or Facebook or so much or such companies, and you are making a very good program which has to be very good in performance, very good in memory optimization. It's only then you make a value class, and if you want to extend something from that, you make a universal trait. From current point of view, what we are covering over here, this much is the things, and we still need to know this because sometime interviewers they are crazy, and it actually depends. Even if you go for interview or if you are taking an interview, it's by looking at the resume only you get some positive or negative feeling about that resource, what he has worked or how much. By looking into resume only you can just make it out that how much the resource is faking about his resume. And let's say if the resource is kind of overconfident or he thinks that he knows everything, if you are showing something like that at the interview, then the interviewer will ask you such crazy questions that has got no usage in practical world, or maybe 90% of the practical world. 10% it still got some usage, but yeah, people can ask you such question only to trouble you. But from working perspective, no need to worry about it. So let's kind of conclude what is a value class and all. Can I make a runtime object of a value class?
No,
Why?
we cannot allocate a runtime object of a value class because we already define the value in the class.
Yeah, because it's a val, right? You cannot make a runtime again. Okay. Can it have multiple parameters?
No, only it has one
One
parameter.
parameters and that too of the type
Yes.
val. Can you create a object out of a value class? You can never. Whenever you are doing this, right? It cannot be extended. You can create the object of it. Can you extend the value class? No, you cannot
No.
extend a value class. I cannot make a another class class A extends, I cannot write Mercedes, right? It will give you some error. It already says unspecified parameter extend. Let's say if I specify X also, then also it will say that you cannot extend a value class. So you cannot extend like this class A extends Mercedes E. What is the benefit of value class? There is a less initialization, there is a better performance and less memory usage. What is the use case? It is used for performance and memory optimization, especially in good projects like Spark and so on. Uh, Value class cannot extend a trait. You cannot extend a trait, but if you want to extend a trait, uh, you can make the trait as a universal trait. And to make a universal trait, it's called you have to write extends any, right? So rest all the things are same, and you have this value class which extends any val. It's also extending a universal trait kari, and you try to make the object and you say m1 dot print, or you can say m1 dot hello, right? So m1 dot hello, even you don't write this, there is no parameter, it's okay. So if I right click on this and I click on a run, I cannot find run. Why it was an class demo e trait? Why it was not an object? Did I create it as a class? It should be an object, right? Okay, so this was the basically Mercedes E at the rate 5. So this was printed because I did this. So Mercedes E, it was a Mercedes E and it was a 5. So it says that Mercedes E at the rate 5. So this is the object that was created, and I'm also printing hello. Okay. So these are the take home things from the value class. You cannot allocate a runtime object. You can have only one parameter with type val. You cannot have a class that extends a value class, right? You cannot have a a class A extends Mercedes E, right? You cannot do something like this. You cannot extend a value class. Benefit of it is less initialization, better performance, less memory usage. It is only used for performance and memory optimization. A value class cannot extend a trait. That's why there is something called as a universal trait. Universal trait meaning you will have something called as a extends any. So whenever you want to extend, it will be extends any well, then it with kari, and you're just printing it. Any questions so far?
Harish, when we declare an object at that time, can we define val or not? Like in object, we cannot define val, right?
Where are you saying? Are you saying over here?
No, I mean on the line 27. I mean, not in this program, but just in a random case, like object demo, and then just like a class. We cannot do that, right?
You're saying instead of object, it should class, is it?
No, no. Instead of class, like if we come to line number 18, and
Line number
there is 18, 1 8.
18. Okay.
Yeah. So instead of class, if I write object there and I write object Mercedes and then I write a val statement, I
No, you
mean,
cannot. You
does
cannot.
that
No, cannot. Because you cannot create an object of an object, right?
object of object
You
is?
cannot create an object of an object. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So if no questions, we'll end for today.